What's up everybody, Kirby here, and today I'm going to be reviewing a movie that I actually watched for the very first time last weekend with my mom, and of course this movie is one of my mom's favorite movies since my mom loves that movie so much, and that movie would be the 1982 musical movie called Annie. So the plot for what Annie's about is, it's about this girl named Annie who lives in an orphanage with many other orphan girls, and the person who runs the orphanage is a really mean lady named Miss Hannigan, played by Carol Burnett. But then one day, someone came to the orphanage and told Miss Hannigan that there's a famous billionaire, a famous rich billionaire named Oliver Warbucks, played by Albert Finney, who kind of wants to adopt the orphan and lets an orphan stay at his mansion for just 1 week, and Annie was selected to be at Oliver Warbucks' mansion for 1 week, and Annie actually loved being at Mr. Warbucks' mansion, and things actually went pretty good, and then of course Oliver Warbucks wants to consider adopting Annie, but then of course Miss Hannigan and her brother Rooster, played by Tim Curry, and this lady named Lily plan to kidnap Annie, and I think they want to kill her, and basically the whole point of the movie Annie's that it's basically Annie wants to look for her real parents, but then ends up living in the mansion owned by a famous billionaire. That's how I can explain the plot for Annie. So, my opinion on this movie, yeah, I gotta say, it's a really good movie, and of course, at a Broadway musical, and this movie actually still holds up to this day. It's still a classic, and of course, we all know the famous songs, Tomorrow and It's the Hard Knock Life. I think my favorite song out of every song from the movie, I think my favorite song is It's the Hard Knock Life song, which is of course played at the beginning of the movie. And I thought some of the acting was pretty good. I thought the actress who played Annie in this movie was pretty good, and I thought Albert Finney did good playing Oliver Warbucks. But there are 3 characters I really did not like. That is, of course, Miss Hannigan, Rooster, and Lily. Yeah, I like Carol Burnett as a comedian, but yeah, I did not think she did a good job playing Miss Hannigan. I'd say Miss Hannigan is definitely the worst character ever. I really did not like her at all, and I didn't think Tim Curry was pretty good in the movie either. But I'm actually not surprised that Tim Curry has to fill in this role, because Tim Curry usually does villainous roles. Like, of course, he played a character that was sort of a villain in Home Alone 2. He, of course, played the villain in Pebble and the Penguin. And he did play a character who's a villain and kind of good at the same time, Lon Sean Silver from Muppet Treasure Island. Yeah, but Tim Curry was definitely not good in this one. But despite that, I did not like the films. The music was pretty good, and it had a pretty good plot, and I think my favorite scene of the movie has to be the part where Annie, Mr. Warbucks, and some other people who work at the orphanage decide to go to the movie theater. That's probably the best part of the movie, and my favorite scene of the movie too. And I even know there's a remake of the movie Annie, which came out in 2014, and which of course had Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz. I might someday watch the remake. It'll definitely not be as good as the original. But yeah, overall, I have nothing else to say about the movie Annie. I mean, if you like Broadway musicals and if you like Broadway musicals, then Annie's definitely one of those movies that you should check out. It is such a good one, a classic that's for sure. So for my overall final rating of Annie, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 stars. A pretty good movie and a classic from 1982. Thank you all for watching and listening to my review on Annie. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is me saying peace out.